Welcome, race fans, to the Racing Roundup Show. For 39 years and counting, we are your destination for news and interviews from within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd live and in person for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Glad to be with you once again on this Tuesday evening, April 18th, for another stellar edition of the Racing Roundup Show. For 39 years and counting, you're home for all things Wisconsin racing and the world of motorsports. We're just outside turn 1 of the Milwaukee Mile at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Easy to find us because right outside we have Riley Stenjum's Super Late. You can't miss it. You'll know what it looks like as soon as you're rolling going, man, that's a cool car. We got that on display, and about to go racing is Chris Larson with Chris Larson Motorsports. He's got his MSA 360 Wing Sprint car sitting here joining us in the parking lot here at Polly's. So come on down, bring your camera, bring your kids. We have great giveaways after the show as well. We'll tell you more about here in a moment. Looking forward to seeing you here at the Racing Roundup Show HQ here tonight, Polly's Pub and Eatery. Tonight's guests include the president of the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series, Steve Sinclair. Dean Strom is fresh off his big weekend in Martinsville. He spent 71 hours there straight, I think, between red flags and weather. So good to see Dean got a nap before coming on our show tonight. We'll talk about NASCAR with him and the Interstate Batteries NASCAR report, as well as covering the world of short track racing, what we can cover with all the weather we've had the last couple of weeks, including this past weekend with some of the early openers getting weathered out. Jay Howard Jay Howard driver development driver Ava Dobson is here. She's racing in the Formula 4 series. She just had a test this past weekend at Road America. She'll be racing there May 2021. That's the same weekend as the big Vintage Festival. They're racing that weekend, so looking forward to talking to her about how the test went as she's making a transition from racing karts at Badger Kart Club and nationally to racing Formula 4. And we'll preview our Slinger Super Speedway season with pro late model racer Tom Behrens. Their birthday boy is in the house tonight. Happy birthday, Tom. Good to see you here. He'll be on the program because their big opener is this Sunday. We have tickets to give away after the show to the Miracle on the High Banks 2. That's the Midwest Tour, ASA-branded Midwest Tour, as well as the Elites 8 Super Late Model Series at Slinger. Pro Late Models are on the calendar, too. They're racing a lot at Slinger Super Speedway. Tom's chasing down another championship at Slinger. We'll talk to Tom about his efforts and getting ready for this season opener this Sunday at Slinger Super Speedway. And joining us as well will be Riley Stenjum, one of the 7 finalists in the Kawicki Driver Development Program. He brought a race car, brought his friends and family. Come on down and join the racing crowd for one of the KDDP's 7 drivers that are racing for the Kawicki Cup here in 2023. Riley's got a busy schedule. He's also racing this Sunday at Slinger Super Speedway. Special thanks and a shout out to CK Con, BMRE Electric Carts and e-bikes for their awesome support of our show. We're here at Polly's hanging out. Come on down. You still got time to join the racing crowd. Great food, great pub menu as well. And stick around. We got the latest in NASCAR coming up next on the Racing Roundup Show right here at Polly's Pub and Eatery.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors. Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive. Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our 39th season, hanging out with you on a Tuesday night. We're doing this every Tuesday through September. Some special DeAngelis Construction Road shows planned on the way, including in front of the Slinger Nationals front gate, if all goes to plan, as well as at the Gander Auto Group 250. That's the ASA Stars National Tour race coming to a Tuesday night in August, the first Tuesday in August at Wisconsin International Raceway. Our schedule is on our page, racingroundupshow.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series, now starting their season on Sunday afternoon, May 7th, in the Club Lamarck Joe Shear 36. It's the Madison International Speedway is hosting their big race as part of the ASA Stars National Tour Joe Shear Classic. The series is sponsored in part by Wagner Automotive and Pathfinder Chassis. Visit MidwestTruckSeries.com for more information. We have giveaways tonight, as I mentioned. Bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. Look for it at your favorite grocery store. We have 2 pair of race tickets to this Sunday's ASA Midwest Tour Elite 8 Pro Late Model and other divisions racing at Slinger Speedway in their afternoon opener at this Sunday. So come on down and win those. We have race tickets for that. We've got Chris Larson Motorsports gave us a cool team hat. We also have racing T-shirts and hats from Oak Creek Automotive and Midwest Truck Series. Wabam gave us some great Ultimate Cleaner products. Vivid Interior Cleaner, Wabam Glazed Leather and Vinyl Protectant, Wabam Blast All-Purpose Cleaner, and that Vivid stuff is sitting over there. It's purple. I like it. It's in a spray bottle. You can win that tonight as well. Among other prizes, race car diecast. Thank you, Diecast Jim. Photos and vintage racing programs as well from Greenfield Gallery Sales on Facebook. If you didn't join us last week, we encourage you to look up our show on our website under the archives button right on the front page. Click on that. Last week we had a great time talking with NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin as part of our Hello tribute to the last lap season at Rockford Speedway. This Saturday night it'll be the Trax 46 Spring Classic. To watch last week's show, it's easy. You can go to our Facebook page, like our show on Facebook, click on the videos link. It pops right up on there. You'll see Mark's face and the whole shebang. Also, to watch last week's show, you can also go to our website, racingroundupshow.com. Click on those racing archive right below the main picture on the main front page, show archives. Click on that and watch it as well. You can watch the show anytime you like as well. If you missed a portion or if you're out running errands and you missed a portion running in and out of the stores, we're here for you. You can watch us anytime. It's now time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR Report. Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. They give us a nice prize pack to give away tonight after the show as well, including some cool Interstate Batteries race shop calendars. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America, and Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. The website to go to, interstatebatteries.com, for every battery need you have. It's our chance and pleasure to once again welcome back from a busy weekend at Martinsville Speedway in our NASCAR report to bring in the man on the P8 Martinsville Speedway, Dean Strom. Dean, welcome back.
Thanks, Jim. It's good to be here.
You don't have a suntan for some reason. How come? You're in Virginia for the whole weekend.
Yeah. It was overcast and rainy for quite a bit of the weekend.
2 red flags in the truck race alone.
Yes. For started late, and then a couple of red flags, and they finally threw up the white flag with about 60-some laps to go.
But you were part of
Gave up.
history.
It was.
They put
It
on
was so cool.
wet tires on an oval.
Getting to make that announcement was so cool. They put on wet weather tires on the trucks on an oval, first time ever in a NASCAR National Touring Series event. It was pretty cool. That it wasn't raining, but the track was wet.
Okay.
And it was really interesting to watch the young guys who didn't know what they didn't know, like Jake Garcia and William Sawalich. They got on those things. They're like, wow! They just went like
And
Jack
they said
the Bear.
in 3, 2, 1, they're getting boom back.
And then the older guys were kind of like, well, let's see how this goes. And they just got their doors blown off, So it was kind of cool. But the tires had. I talked to our friend Eric Holmes after that, who was spotting for Jake Garcia, and he said the tires had a lot of grip, and they went away really quick.
Wow.
But the track dried so quick when you put 36 trucks out there.
Yep.
The track dried really quick. So then they brought them in and they put the regular tires on. But it was pretty cool to see.
Corey Heim won the race. He won both stages at the rain shortened race.
Had him covered.
Kyle Busch made it exciting. How many times did he come through the field to finish second?
Well, it's Kyle Busch.
Yeah, well, 6 or 7 probably. Zane Smith third. Ty Majeski fourth. He's still leading the points.
Yep.
He's finished 11th, 6th, or top 5 in the 8 races or 7 races this year. That's been pretty impressive.
Still looking for his first win. But, yeah, he is killing them with top 5s and consistency.
Great to see Ty Majeski, Seymour, Wisconsin, making it work. Saturday, John Hunter Nemechek cashed in the $100,000 Xfinity Dash for Cash bonus by winning the race as one of the 4 eligible drivers.
He's another one who had him covered on Saturday. He really, really did. He was stout. It was a really good race on Saturday, I thought.
Even though he stunk it up, he led 198 of 250 laps.
Yeah, but there was once he got past first, there was just some phenomenal racing going on. It was really pretty cool to see.
Kind of partial to Parker Retzloff.
Parker
he did okay.
Retzloff did a great job.
From Rhinelander, Wisconsin, full-time in the Xfinity Series.
At one time, the Wisconsin kids ran like 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Derek Krause ran the number
Mayer,
10 car.
Derek Krause and Parker Retzloff were all running nose to tail at one time during the race. That was pretty cool. I saw history then on Saturday, too.
What?
We literally had John Hunter literally burned it down.
So he knows the car in at the end of the race to somewhere at the team
to do the burnout.
Got the tires burning, and then
it literally started on fire.
My worry, I saw that on television. I was not there. My worry was that's fire.
Yeah.
Both big rubber black things are on fire, and between them is a fuel cell.
Right.
And there's fuel lines that could maybe get,
So then he pulled away, and he started driving away, and the thing was on fire.
Still on fire.
So like, oh, my God. Yeah.
The last time that happened was a couple weeks ago in the truck race. They had ran mud flaps, mesh panels behind the wheels on the road course at COTA, and Zane Smith started his truck on fire. Just the tires, though, not the whole back of the car.
Not doing a victory celebration.
It was a victory celebration.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
okay.
it was. Yeah.
All right.
So maybe they got to stop doing that.
Maybe.
And Nemechek's sponsor is Pi Barker Fire Safety. Fire and Safety.
Right.
Ironic, kind of.
They supplied the fire extinguishers at Martinsville.
And that makes sense because they needed them
for
the winner of the race.
Yeah.
We mentioned a couple of Wisconsin drivers. Derek Krause, his second Xfinity race for Cowlick Racing, second top 10. Finished 8th this time, 10th at Richmond. Rhinelander, Wisconsin's Parker Retzloff, he was running top 10 most of the race.
Qualified really good. He was right down in qualifying. He was on the pole right up until the last couple of drivers went out.
Finished 11th. Franklin native Sam Mayer was in contention until the 6th place happened.
Ryan Truex
hits the infield berm, the curb in turn 3. Comes up the track, hits Sam. Sam hits Riley Herbst. Herbst backs it in the wall. Sam noses it in.
Yep.
Both of them were knocked out of the race.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Sam voiced his displeasure.
Yeah, he waved at him.
Yeah, he waved at him. Yeah.
TV was right on it. He did a very obvious wave.
Yeah.
Wisconsin Lutheran High School, which is just down the road, is proud of their alum for doing that. But hey, he had to voice of displeasure. He's got to make a stand, right?
Yeah.
Say, hey, that wasn't cool. Sunday, Cup race. What happened then?
Everybody thought it was going to be the William Byron show. He practiced good, and then they didn't qualify that good. And once they started racing, because William Byron led, last spring, led 275 laps of the 400 and just killed them. He was not good in the race. We had the return of Chase Elliott. Qualified 24th. He was not good. The Hendrick cars were not good for most of the day. The Stewart-Haas Racing cars were good for most of the day. All 4 of them qualified in the top 7. All 4 of them, I think, ran inside the top 10 for almost the entire race. Ryan Preece won his first career pole, led every lap of stage 1.
135 laps at the first, 135 he led.
Yep. Came in for a pit stop, sped on pit road, had to go to the back. And once you were back there, it was really hard to move forward. Joey Logano was running 35th for most of the day. They did a pit strategy, got up to first.
Stayed out, didn't pit at all.
Yeah, got up to first, and nobody could pass him.
Until Kyle Larson with 2 fresh tires out of nowhere.
Yep.
Walked him and won the race.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Larson hates Martinsville. It's plain and simple. He does not like the place. He said, I can't drive it the way I want to drive it. It's not my favorite joint. I recall interviewing him on the grid on Sunday morning of a Martinsville race, his second year in Cup. He's like, yeah, I might have qualified 4th, but I don't like this place. And I'm on the microphone in front of every fan in the stands.
Gee,
saying,
thanks, Kyle.
Thanks. I'm here to cheer you up, and you really did a great job in telling people don't buy my shirts here. You won't want to wear it because I'm not going to be that good in the race.
Didn't know where he was going to put the grandfather clock. Hadn't given it any thought whatsoever because he says, I don't like this place. I'm no good at this place. And lo and behold, he's going home with the grandfather clock.
Other quick
Did a burnout, a backwards burnout?
He went
the entire track.
So turn 2 is where the pits exit onto the racetrack. Mm-hmm. He looped around there, dialed in the front brakes, and he went all the way around.
All the way around.
A complete half-mile burnout.
Half-mile burnout, yeah.
Polish victory lap style.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I saw the end of that. Then I know that they actually now have an air gun set up just for that. NASCAR makes the teams have 2 spare tires. If you win the race, you got to have 2 spare tires and an air gun ready to go. So if he does what he did and burns out both right rears or both rears, they need to jack the car. They need to have an air gun, and they have to have 2 spare tires to get it back up so they can get to victory lane as soon as they can.
Yeah. So and then the Hendrick cars actually recovered nicely. Mm-hmm. Chase was 10th.
Yep.
Larson wins. Bowman was pretty decent in the rundown, and Byron was pretty decent in the rundown too.
Another bit of NASCAR news. Tony Stewart. Yeah, he owns a couple things. He owns the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions. He owns 4 Cup teams, 2 Xfinity teams. He also owns 2 NHRA Top Fuel and Funny Car teams. He's also racing full-time this year in the Top Alcohol Dragster. That's the division below the Top Fuel cars.
Top Fuel, yeah.
And he wins his first Wally in the 4-wide run at Las Vegas this past weekend. Not bad. So you think Tony Stewart's good at everything he does? You're right. He tripped the light at 267.89 miles an hour in his qualifying run. That's just under 5.3 seconds. And on Sunday, again, a 4-wide to the finish, he beat Todd Bruce with a 5:32 with a 4 compared to Bruce's 5:33 with a 2. So if you look at the numbers, 0.012 seconds separated him and the second-place guy in the 4-wide finish to get his first Wally. Congrats to NASCAR Hall of Famer Tony Stewart. Also, Jimmy Johnson's going to the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame of America in Daytona Beach. He's with John Force. IndyCar Series 6-time champ Scott Dixon. This is March of 24. Hans device inventors Dr. Robert Hubbard and racer Jim Downing. A 4-time SCCA national champion driver and 6-time IndyCar Series owner champ P.L. Newman. The guy with the salad dressing, the actor. He liked to be called P.L. at the racetrack. He's going in. Hollywood motorcycle stuntman Bud Ekins and 1966 Can-Am champion and winning constructor John Surtees. If you ever talked to David Hobbs about his contemporaries that he had to beat every week in the 60s, no matter where, no matter what country, John Surtees was on the top of his list. So I'm glad to see that they're going to honor him. And I would guess David and Margaret are going to that celebration, March of 2024, at Daytona International Speedway to induct the Hall of Fame class in March. By the way, Jimmy Johnson, if you didn't know, lived in Wisconsin for 2 years, raced out of shops in Pewaukee. Actually, he lived in Pewaukee as a roommate to Dan Schleeper. They had a cardboard box, 2 chairs, and a TV with some foot pedals on it. That's what they lived outside of the apartment with. In the apartment, that's all they had, to do some race simulations. And Jimmy lived there for 2 years, so we got to see him a bunch on our show. So it's good to see that he's getting another accolade as he continues to race part-time in NASCAR. This coming weekend, Talladega, Derek Kraus is back in the number 10 for Kaulig Racing, and Kaulig Racing at Talladega is bad fast when it comes to the Xfinity Series. Looking forward to seeing how he does. Be a great thing for him in a part-time schedule to knock down a win.
And that car has not finished outside the top 10. Has had several different drivers in it throughout the year, but that car has not finished outside the top 10.
Dean, you ready to bring in another Hall of Famer?
Let's do
We're
it.
talking to Hall of Fame now. Southeast Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame had an induction ceremony this past November. Among the honorees joins us now. He's the president of the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series and other things, all things racing, Steve Sinclair. Steve, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you here. And I see you got here early enough to enjoy a pizza. How was the pizza here at Polly's?
Pizza's excellent.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm jealous because I might get one after the show.
So I need to plug the local towing service as well, I was told, because
N&S Towing.
N&S
They're
Towing.
great guys.
They're good at opening locked car doors.
That's good to know.
Appreciate it.
That's good to know.
Thanks, guys.
Charlie Cincinnati and the gang, N&S Towing, whatever you need. A tow of your daughter's car that dies on the side of the road.
Or the Hall of Famers in the bar parking lot.
For
Yes.
some reason, Hall of Famers need assistance. Call N&S Towing here in West Dallas. Great guys. Yeah, they're wonderful people. So other than your before the show, Steve, we got to talk about what's going on tonight and after this show. There's a lot going on. The IRA Sprint Series has already started. 34 Raceway, couple races. You're at Beaver Dam last Saturday. Things are rolling already for you guys.
Yeah, we got off to a really good start. Weather cooperated. Hats off to Beaver Dam for sticking with it the other night. They easily could have pulled the plug because we did have it did rain while we were there. Crowd came in late, but they came.
Okay.
And it was a great show. Yeah, we're off to a real good start.
And your defending champion has a headline already. Jordan Goldsberry won the race, so all of a sudden, hey, I'm the guy to beat again. Hello.
Yep, and then from a fan perspective, there was a couple travelers. I think we're going to see a lot of guys bouncing in and out all year long, and there was a couple that showed up that we didn't expect. North Dakota driver, I can't even know his first name.
What's his last name?
Uh,
Whatever. This kid out of Texas was pretty good, too.
Yeah, Brendan
Brent
Crouch.
Cruz.
So
Brendan Crouch,
the
yeah.
Crouch family owns the World of Outlaw car that Buddy Kofoid drives.
Aha.
So
He's doing okay in that.
Yeah, so this kid's got a fast track to the...
He's in the Keith Kuhn stuff, too, in the midgets. Yeah.
Yes, impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive. I forget that guy's name.
We'll figure it out. We're going to have Steve back on. As soon as he's off the show, he's like, wait a minute, I know the guy's name. It's okay. The cool thing is you got guys interested in the series. They can run anywhere they want, but they want to run with you
so
guys.
So Peevely rained out with the Outlaws.
Yep.
So this guy drove all the way up. And so did Crouch, for that matter.
Yeah.
Drove all the way up to race with us. They just want to go racing. And it was really good. The racing was outstanding.
You just got a text message. Maybe that was somebody telling you what it was.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
I know he's got the typical name from a North Dakota guy that ends in S-E-N. I do know that.
Norwegians.
I'll find it here somewhere.
Well, the good news is you got a really good, strong contingent of guys that are not from North Dakota.
Tim Estenson.
Estenson. That's right. That's right. Now that you said it, I read that.
Yes.
I did.
Yes, yeah.
That's kind of neat. You got that. Now, when they want to race with you, do they just show up, or do they actually say, "I need to call Steve to see if it's okay"? What are you guys running for?
You know,
is there any gear
that's
thing,
what's so great about the 410 deal. We're all in the same rule package across the whole country, so we can go anywhere we want. One of the few differences would be the World of Outlaws mandate a fire suppression bottle now.
Okay.
We just highly recommend it. We'll mandate it soon, but other than that, tires are the same. Everything's the same.
And I know that goes back to you had a lot of meetings.
Yes.
There's a 1,200-pound minimum wall thickness on roll cages. This goes back a decade or so, right? Where you guys are starting to hey, let's get this together. We don't have to be
there's a
making our
thing
own
called the
rules.
Sprint Council.
Yep.
And I guess I'm one of the executive members of that, which is pretty cool, with the World of Outlaws and the All-Stars and USAC and blah, blah, blah.
And for the first time in 18 years, if you didn't know, Steve Sinclair was a spectator at the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl this past January. You've been working that event a lot. So you get to know a lot of people and see a lot of people.
I have met so many people, and it's so many great people this is my 31st year with IRA, which I cannot believe.
So tell us how you got involved, because people may not know you didn't race full time, you didn't crew full time, you just were a fan and a passionate member of the media, right?
Yeah. My dad built motors for a lot of different types of race cars, and then he started getting involved in sprints and midgets, and I was hooked. And then I was writing for Midwest Racing News with you, Dean, and I was pretty boisterous on some opinions, and I think the racers bought into it.
Well, you were the beat writer. You were there every race.
And
yeah.
I was kind of crewing for Frank Filsko at the time, so I kind of knew what I was talking about, and they bought into it. And 31 years later, here we are.
Wow. For a little over 31 years, someone that just walked into the Paulie's Pub and Eatery, he's been writing motorsports coverage for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Hello, Dave Coleman. Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by Racing Roundup Show headquarters. Dave and I go way back. We've had some car trips together, and it's just been fun to have that surrounding of those 3 decades of being around racing and having so much input and support of people like yourself letting us in and covering races. It's kind of cool you get to still do this, Steve.
It's way cool. And in the opportunities, believe it or not, they still come. I was planning on cutting back, but I really had a great time last year. The group of racers we had were fun. I enjoyed myself. And heck, I can say it. Just the other day, I got a call because the Eldora Million is unsanctioned.
Aha.
And got a call to see if we wanted to work that. And lo and behold, I have an IRA race scheduled against the Eldora Million.
Okay.
At I-94 Speedway in Minnesota on our way to Grand Forks.
Gotcha.
Because a typical IRA guy is not going to the Million.
Yep.
So I had to say no. But there's some other neat stuff coming. We'll talk about another show.
So you got other things to do. I saw you in Daytona at the Racing Promoters Workshop.
Yes.
RPM Workshop.
I love going to all those bigger events, and it's pretty cool. You go to Volusia. The World of Outlaws are racing. We're not. Just hanging out on top of the VIP trailer there with, the guys from Knoxville and Steve Beitler from Skagit and, owners of Houston and Jacks. It's just all people from across the country just all hanging out with the same common interest. It's just cool.
But one thing you and I have, and Dean, we all share, we get to do these races around the country. But we always bring it back home. What did I learn? How can I improve? What can we do different? What I like, what I saw there, what I know I'm never going to do because they tried it and it didn't work. I mean, that's got to help everybody.
Yes.
When it
and everybody, nobody's perfect. We every format has a flaw. Every group makes a mistake now and then. It's you get to see the insides of how it really works, and they're no different than us, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
A little more glitzy sometimes, but it's all the same.
When it comes to the schedule this year, what time did it go to bed? Was it like midnight on the day you said you're going to have the schedule out the next day? Are you still looking at adding some races or tweaking it?
Oh, we got too many now.
Okay.
We got too many. On the 410 side, I probably overdone it. We were a little more sensible with the wingless guys. We had way too many a few years ago. Now we brought that down to mid-20s. And with the fuel prices and stuff, you got to think about it. But with the 410 thing, if you're chasing points, we still have 30-some races. It's highly unlikely one car and one motor are going to get it done. So you have to have some finances behind you. And these engine rebuilds are getting pretty pricey. So, if your engine builder says, you can run 15, they're going to stretch it to 20, but we have 33.
Yeah.
So then they start picking and choosing. But I am blessed. We probably have, 10, 12 guys that are going for it. And from a championship perspective, it's going to be great. I mean, last year we had four going down to the last weekend. And
Yep.
I see that happening again.
It was called Championship Saturday for a reason at Plymouth. There was a lot going on.
Yeah,
When you put
absolutely.
together a schedule, Steve, what's the most? I mean, you have to look out for the tracks. You have to look out for the competitors. You have to look out for the fans. How do you find that perfect mix? What's the most challenging
Well, if
thing
you ask
that you
my
have,
teams,
and
there is
how
no
do you
perfect
overcome it?
We got guys that in the last few years that are coming from different places. So we've got Hunter Custer lives in Eau Claire, Chippewa Falls. I've got Jake Newman, and get well, Jake. Get well soon, by the way.
He's out of the hospital.
Jake Newman, Kyle Schuett, Jordan Goldsberry, they're all down central Illinois. Jake Blackhurst.
Yep.
And for those guys to come up to Wisconsin, they want combinations. But you don't want to over race because I'm going to burn out our fans and everything else. We race too much. So there's a lot of doubleheader weekends. And that will bring the traveling racer in, which I think the fans like. Nothing against our core.
And your
We got a
teams are
great
making the
core.
investment. They get 2 races in a weekend or sometimes
Yes.
3, and they know to plan
But then
for
the plan was to take a week off every once in a while, and we didn't do that as much as maybe we should.
Gotcha.
But the guys that can afford to, if we're off, they're going to Knoxville or they're going somewhere else anyway. So might as well make it yours and race yourself, I guess.
IRAsprints.com is the website to go to. You mentioned the wingless sprints. You also sanction the IRA Lightning sprints that race primarily at Wilmot Raceway. The Wisconsin wingless division is still growing, still booming.
Oh my God!
It's fun to know that Chris Klemko and the guys that start out as a handful of guys saying, "Let's try this. Let's get some sprint car chassis, take the wing off, and we'll run a spec motor in these things." And it's blown up. What are you looking at this year for schedule and car count?
At Wilmot, we were hitting 40 a few times last year, which frankly 40's too much, but I think we'll be knocking on that door frequently. And those guys take it serious. It's not a hobby class. Those guys take it serious. They put a lot of effort. Beautiful looking race cars. I thought that was going to be a hand-me-down deal. It's predominantly newer cars. They put a lot of effort into it, and they do a good job.
And
I'm blessed. And the Lightning Sprints are growing too. We've got 3 solid divisions, really.
Yep. It's all at IRAsprints.com. The schedules are there. How many of these races are you going to be going to, Steve?
Well, I don't want to. well,
You have to. The sanctioning body's always going to be there.
Steve 410 races in 30 years.
Oh wow.
The birth of my first son, and then the second was a couple years ago. I was in a crash house when I had a heart attack.
Oh,
so
I guess you're okay. We'll let you off for one of those. One race.
Keep the stress out of your life is what they told me. Yes. So, I'm at all the 410 races unless there's an unforeseen circumstance.
And you still travel outside of that for your business, doing with K&K Insurance, right?
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I get, I find a midweek race. Like I insure Kokomo Speedway. Kokomo's got a high limit race coming up on I guess
Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
So I'll do my Indiana tour based around that. Or when the Brad Doty Classics at Attica, I do my Ohio swing. I've got like a 7-state territory for K&K.
Wow.
So yeah, it's 24/7 racing at the Sinclair House.
So we have something set aside. Dean and I actually stayed here at Polly's last Tuesday and watched the inaugural High Limit Sprint Car Series race.
At Lakeside.
At Lakeside Speedway near Kansas City, and that was pretty impressive. Gio Selzy beat an extremely stacked field of sprint cars.
Rico had him covered.
Gio won the race.
Covered.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Rico's got Ricky Warner turning the wrenches, and Ricky turned them for Donnie Schatz when Donnie Schatz was winning all those World of Outlaw championships. So Rico's pretty smart dude. He got some good.
But
help
it
there.
looked like it was a big success.
I think it's going to be. I don't want to give my opinion out too much, but I think the 12 race thing makes it a big deal. If they try to run 50, 60 of them. Number one, I'm not sure there's enough tracks that can pay that purse.
Yes.
But that midweek thing, there's something to that.
Early week. Might give you a rain date on Wednesday.
I think we had 48 cars at 34 Raceway both our days there.
Yep.
And a lot of those guys were there because they were going to Lakeside in a couple days. Or 34 is the next high limit race. They're tuning up for that one.
Picking and choosing.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
That also means that maybe mid-season, towards the end of the season, these teams might have to scale back or pick a few, or what do you think?
Well, you won't see as many. Well, this first high limit race paid 50-something.
50, yep.
So the World of Outlaw teams can only race 4 outside shows. So when, like a 34, a Kokomo are only 20,000, which is still a lot.
Yep.
I don't think you'll see as many Outlaw teams at that. Speaking of 20,000 to win.
That's still a lot of money.
I'm going to plug a race we got coming up here.
Go for it.
So June 2nd and 3rd, the All-Stars are coming in, and we have a 2-day swing. We're at Dodge County for the Gib Weiser Classic.
Cool.
At Dodge County with the All-Stars, and guys like Brent Marks and Anthony Macri have already indicated they're coming from PA. That's going to be a big deal. And then it headlines at Plymouth the next night with the Race Rudine Foundation race.
That pays $26,000 to win.
$26,000 to win, which is the high mark in the state of Wisconsin ever. I mean, we did that a couple of years ago.
You did it right the first time because they're coming back. They could go anywhere they want.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends in the right places. Thank you, Tony Stewart.
You know what? It all makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Put on a good show, pack the house.
Yeah, they love
good support.
Plymouth shows well. The grounds are nice. Everything looks well. I'll give Wilmot Raceway a plug, too. We have an all-star show coming up there May 13th. All new bleachers. They've done a really good job.
Great food. If you want track food, that's the place to go. They got their own chef and everything. It's really nice.
They've come a long way.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see continued improvements there, but the grandstands are quite the feat. When you pull up now, it's wow.
I saw
they're on risers, and they're tall to begin with.
All the backs on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
accessible seating.
We still have a lot to do before opening day.
All right.
We need weather to cooperate, but they've done a great job.
Yeah.
Yep.
You race next April 29th for the 410s, right?
Yeah, we're at Cedar Lake the 29th, and then we make our first ever journey to Mason City Motor Speedway in Iowa on Sunday. That was a real popular booking by Steve.
Right.
Sunday night, far away.
That's a new market.
But again, there's reasons for that. See, so Houston Speedway is the big Sunday night track. They're not open yet.
Okay.
So now we got to, and it's always kind of a struggle to get cars to go all the way to Cedar Lake. Well, now you got 2.
Yep. And they're going to come and tune up because they got to run for points at Houston. So it's like we got to get.
And it's fairly similar.
Yeah.
Similar in shape. So
you would know of anybody, shapes and sizes of racetracks. I'm sure when you walk in, you're like, yep, they moved that, they moved this. That's a new billboard.
Well, that's my job. That's my job.
Hey, it's great to see that you spent part of your busy week with us. Appreciate it.
Enjoy it.
How about I stand for
Always
Steve
do.
Sinclair for joining us here tonight. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
IRAsprints.com is the website to go to. Dean, stay put if you wouldn't mind.
I will.
We're going to fix that banner behind us. We're coming right back with more short track results in the Bonafide Security Solutions short track report. The Andersons Maple Syrup Racing short track spotlight is in our next segment. And Ava Dobson's here. She is going to turn 15 in June. She's already racing in the Formula 4 Series. Had a test at Road America this past weekend. Looking forward to talking to her. And we got a birthday boy, Tom Barron's in the house, who's racing this Sunday at Slinger Speedway in his Pro Late model. And we're going to have on tonight's show, Kawicki Driver Development Program driver Riley Stengen, who brought a beautiful Super Late painted up by Alan Kawicki's number 28 Hardee's car. Remember that one? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's sitting right out here. It's got his sponsors on it. He's racing this Sunday at Slinger. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kawicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Kawicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000, American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000, American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being here on a Tuesday night. We're talking all things motorsports. We do it every Tuesday. If you want to be a guest on the show or hang out with us, hanging out at Polly's, our schedule's on our website. Contact us through our website, racingroundupshow.com. Our program is brought to you tonight in part by Realty. List and buy with confidence. If you have a home or commercial property you want to buy or sell, Matt Rapina is your guy. Buy and sell with confidence. Not all realtors are the same, and knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Visit Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty on his website, mattrapina.com. That's mattrapina.com. Dean, you're still with us. It's time to go short track racing before we talk to our friend Chris Larson, who brought his beautiful sprint car out here.
Jim, it's a Bonafide Security Solutions short track report for camera and alarm systems. For your home or business program card access gun safes, it's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400. Go online, bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. We just talked to Steve Sinclair, and he mentioned one of the things he mentioned was the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints this past weekend at Beaver Dam Raceway. Was Jordan Goldsberry taking the win in the Whipperforth Memorial Trophy. Defending series champ qualified 4th, started 6th in the A main, raced under Danny Schlafer of Schlafer's Auto Body in Lannon for 3rd, then advanced after a caution to shoot to the top of the track, grabbed 2nd. He stalked the leader Blake Nimmey until the winning pass was made down low, turn 1, slider on a 13th lap. Brennan Crouch, she talked about him, the 17-year-old from Texas, crossed the line 2nd. And, of course, next up for the IRA Sprints is Cedar Lake Speedway on April the 29th. Last Tuesday night, Gio Scalzi, we talked about this too, won the first ever high-limit sprint car race at Lakeside Speedway in Kansas City. Anderson's Maple Syrup-sponsored Bill Baylog did not advance out of one of the 2C mains. 56 cars, pretty stacked field.
Yeah. And you said Rico had him covered. I was watching with you. I just saw Gio tenacious.
I thought
Gio was tenacious.
Rico had a right rear go down.
Yep.
With just a couple laps to go.
Yep.
Icebreaker at Dells Raceway Park. We had Jerry Aubie here last week. That poor guy.
Worried about the weather. He was
gracious.
right. He actually called it on Thursday of last week due to the incoming weather on Sunday. He did the right thing.
He had a tough year last year with the weather, and yes, he did the right thing. As this past weekend, it was a tough one. At so Dells Raceway Park, the Icebreaker is going to be postponed until September 24th. The third and final day of that track's huge Midwest Championship weekend. Advance sale tickets will be refunded if you bought those for the Icebreaker. This Saturday at Dells Raceway Park from 11 to 5, scheduled open practice, weekly Saturday night racing featuring UMA Pro late models, Asphalt Mod, Sportsman's, Bandits, and 6 shooters set to start on April 29th. You can go to DellsRacewayPark.com for more info there. Hoosier 100 at Lucas Oil IRP was weather postponed to the Friday night of Indy 500.
It's a big weekend.
Yep. Now becoming a USAC Silver Crown 100 lapper, points paying race, May 26th during the Carbonite Classic, which already had pavement midgets and USF Pro 2000 races scheduled for that. Sunday afternoon, we're going to talk about that.
Sure.
Slinger Super Duper Speedway.
Yeah.
ASA Midwest Tour, Elite 8 Super Late Models, Miracle on the High Banks 2. Plus, you got the Pro Late Models, got Slinger Bs, American Super Cups, Modifieds. They're all on the card.
I got more fingers. There's a lot of divisions. That'd be fun.
Save $5 by buying tickets in advance. SlingerSuperspeedway.com. If you can't make it, you and I will be there.
We will. We'll be part of the MidwestTour.tv coverage.
MidwestTour.tv.
Yep.
Yeah, should be fun. So that's Sunday. What are you doing Saturday?
I will be at Lake Erie Speedway in Pennsylvania.
Wait a minute.
Calling.
Pennsylvania and Slinger.
I'll be in Milwaukee proper at 10:37 a.m. I'll be at Slinger's Pit Shack by noon.
All right. What are you
Coming
going
in
to do? What are you going to be doing in Pennsylvania?
So thanks to MAV TV, the Race of Champions is a modified series that's just like the Wheel and Tour guys. Matter of fact, several are going to be racing in this race this Saturday. Lake Erie Speedway is now the home of the Race of Champions 250. It's a 250-lap modified race. And it's big money. It's the 73rd year of doing this, but they didn't run it last year because it rained out in September.
Okay.
So they moved it to this coming Saturday. MAV TV will be there live, and they asked me to call it.
Nice.
So that'll be kind of fun. So I'll be working with the series guy.
Hello to my friend Joe Scott Nicky.
I will. He owns the series.
He owns the series, yep.
So I'll be doing that on Saturday, then hanging out with you guys on Sunday. That's
Cool.
Slinger. Should be good.
Sounds fun. Looking forward to it.
It will be a lot of fun. So if you want to find out what's going on in the world of racing, we want to be here on the show. You can follow us on social as well, at Racing Roundup on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Just like our show, you can find things that, hey, Chris Larson's going to be on the show. Boom, it'll pop right up there and tell you that. Matter of fact, he is on the show right now. Let's welcome in Chris Larson, driver of that number 51 sprint car out there. Thanks for coming on, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Your car is beautiful, ready
you.
to race. And you told me before you came on the show, you're going to put those Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment paint. That job's going to be out there a lot this year. You're racing a bunch. Where are you going to be racing this year?
We're going to race at Plymouth, and then a full schedule with them and a full schedule with MSA. So we'll race a couple times at Wilmot, twice there, twice in Dodge County, and then we just added a race up in Eagle River.
Wow.
So, yeah,
You're doing them all.
So I think like 26 races total.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Are any of those double weekends?
There's two. There's one a triple weekend, and then there's two others that are doubles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for a guy who didn't start sprint car racing at the age of 10, like some of these guys are today, what got you started in this not so long ago running a sprint car?
I watched IRA at Wilmot as growing up. Never really had the money to do any of that stuff. And then about I was like 37, had some health issues, and then I did a class with Randy Sipple.
He got you, didn't he?
I came home and told my wife this is what I want to do, and she's like, oh, hold on a second. My daughter was, I think, 2 weeks old, and we just bought a brand new house.
Wow.
So she was like, let's put the brakes on here. So, and ever since then, I've been hooked up with Randy Sipple. Just kind of figured it would be a 1 or 2 year deal with him, and now it's turned into we're starting our 6th year points. We're going to chase points this year. So.
The 360 program has really come along in the last few years. I mean, all of those drivers have really stepped up their program. Their equipment looks great. It's high-notch stuff. Tell us about this ride as far as making that commitment and what you need to do.
Yeah, it's with a little different. Randy Sipple's the owner. I drive it, and the way I explain it to people that don't know racing is I treat it as my car during the season. On the off season, it's Randy's. I wreck it, I got to pay for it. So,
okay.
So it's just, kind of the same thing as any other racer. I just didn't have to purchase a car to start. And I don't really have time to maintain it. So I have a great crew with Randy and my three other crew members, and they live up by the shop. I live about an hour and a half away from our race shop. So
okay.
So we're down here in Franksville. Our race shop is up by Elkhart Lake.
Gotcha. So when you're like in the throes of this season, will you be spending shop nights there? You and your guys will go up there for a given night, or you just get there to the track early kind of thing to work through stuff, or how's that going to work, you think?
Normally, just my crew guys will be up there. With my job, I'm typically up at 3 o'clock in the morning for work, and so for me to get up there during the week, they take care of everything.
Gotcha.
I do. The last couple of years, go up there and help tear it down, build it back up, and then my 2 boys have been starting to help us do that before the season and at the end of the season if we can get up there.
Yeah.
So they're starting to learn everything. For the first 3 years, Randy just had me drive. Before I started in 2018, I never touched a race car in my life, and I just jumped into a sprint car. So,
wow. Why not?
It was a lot of trial and error. My wife probably had some rough nights. It was a lot of boring nights, always running the back of the B. But in 2021, at the end of the year, we at the last race of the year, we picked it up, and then last year we did pretty good. We finished 17th in points last year. And we missed 6 scheduled races.
Oh, wow.
So we had 4 top 10s and I think like 6 or 7 top 15s.
Okay.
So we did. We made a lot of improvements last year. So.
For this season, are you guys going with a new car? Or are you going with a car you've raced before that you kind of feel it?
It's same cars as last year, JJ. It's like a 2016 chassis. But we just use what we got and go from there. I mean, the wing's new. So
it looks great. Everything looks brand new.
Yeah.
Nice job getting the car ready for the season.
Yeah, it turned out really good this year.
So where's your first night? Where are your first couple of nights? What's your race?
Plymouth is on the 29th will be our first night. After that, I think it's a couple Plymouths in a row, and then I think Wilmot is middle of May. We'll hit Wilmot. But
you mentioned some of the crew guys. Who'd you bring here tonight with you?
Well, my wife and then 2 of the crew members, Tanya and Tom Becker. They just got married.
Hey, congratulations!
They worked their wedding around race season for us. So
say hello to March wedding. Say hello to November wedding. I got you, baby. Yeah, we know how that works. Yeah, that's really cool. Who else helps you when you're at the track? You mentioned Randy's kind of doing a lot with you.
Yeah, Randy's our crew chief and owner, and then Tom's dad is our other crew member, and then my wife makes dinner for everybody, and then our kids are just starting to help out. Our boys are starting where everybody else starts, and is doing tire pressure. So
So you mentioned Franksville is where you live now, but you got a big thing coming up for your team. You guys are doing a big wing. Is it a wing fry you're calling it?
We're doing a wing fry, and that's this Saturday. It's at Nicky Miggs on 91st and Lincoln.
Right down the road from here.
Right down the road, yeah. We are going to do a wing fry instead of a brat fry. We also are
going to fry race car wings. No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
We are going to do a bags tournament. It all just try to help pay for what the sport we love.
So do you have like raffle prizes too people can bid on?
Yeah, we went from having zero. We just signed this sponsor about 2 weeks ago, and he pushed to have it, and I didn't think we had enough time. But we went from 0 baskets to about 20 baskets in like 5 days. One of our sponsors, like Olson Power Equipment, they just cut us a check for their sponsorship, and then I went back and asked them if they could help us out. And they gave us a brand new leaf blower and $50 gift card for a basket. So
great family business, yeah.
We have some cool sponsors that help us out.
And you mentioned before the show you guys have a race package as well. You can get some tickets or pit passes as one of the raffle items?
Yes, we do have a raffle going on, and this is just a personal raffle. We are doing a raffle of 10 pit passes or 10 stand passes for Plymouth, and that is one for 20, 3 for 40, and all the proceeds are going to the Posse family. My family has become really good friends with them. They pit next to us, and then tragically Cole passed away on March 17th of this year.
And you guys were really close. You mentioned you guys pitted next to each other each week. He raced with you guys, against you guys, and that's cool. You're giving money to the family.
Yeah. Like our daughters were, you couldn't pull them apart. And they were same age. He was probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's 6'4", 6'5", always had a smile on his face. That's one sticker I wish I didn't have on my car.
It's on there on the rear part of the wing, and it's you'll be racing in, no doubt, in his memory and his honor as well.
Yeah.
Give us again details. 91st and Lincoln, Nicky Miggs.
Yep.
What time do things get rolling this coming Saturday?
Starts at 1 to 6:30. And the bags tournament will start at 2 o'clock. So we're asking people to come in about 1 o'clock, start signing up for the bags tournament. And the bags tournament is rain or shine. It's going to be in a basement, which has really high ceilings. So it'll be fun. We'll just I'll have some wings and have some fun with some friends and racing family.
That's really cool. Who else is sponsoring your efforts this year, Chris, as you're chasing the MSA and Plymouth titles?
Yeah, so we got All City Towing. I work for them. And Nicky Miggs place. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment. Olma Druid out of Racine, restaurant there. Spirit of 76 Veterinary Clinic, which is right down the road here too. And then Long Sharks Bar, Hobbytown USA, Sipple Racing, J&J Contractors out of Greendale, and then Hockey Locker, and Joe Vertigan.com. He did all of our our media books this year, which kind of helped a lot for going to get new sponsors this year. So, and then
Joe's a great guy, yeah.
Trailer, and then RC Customs. That's who does our wraps. So,
really nice job on the wraps. Very well done.
Yeah.
Anybody else you want to recognize as part of your racing fix here? You're getting a lot of people out there, but that means you got a lot of friends that are supporting you along the way.
Yeah, just my wife and kids. They put up a lot in the last 4 years, and actually started having fun last year. So, but yeah, if anyone wants to follow us on Larson Motorsports on Facebook, that's where we're at. So,
Larson Motorsports, it's pretty cool. You got the Cole Posse number 39 as part of the symbol. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what your wife just told you to say.
I thought I mentioned him, but yeah, Randy Sipple. When I first started, I hooked up with him. People said that he wouldn't teach me anything because I would just go get my own car and then race against him. And that has been far from the truth. We've become really good friends with him. He teaches our boys everything they want to learn with the car. And we just have fun hanging out with them at the shop and the track. So,
wow, that's great. Yep. Great to see you here as well. Thanks for making the time, bringing your car down, bringing your wife and your newlywed crew members, and have fun. Have fun this coming Saturday. Nicky Miggs is where the party is at, 1 o'clock. Yeah. Bags tournament raffle for helping out Larson Motorsports, and all that proceeds go to Cole Posse's family. Thank you for coming on, Chris.
All right, thank you.
I want to say that for Chris Larson joining us here on the show. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dean Strom, as well. We're talking some road course racing, and we're talking short track racing and the Slinger Opener. That's all yet on the way here on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
But thanks again for joining us, fans and friends, on a Tuesday night here at Paulie's Pub and Erie. Live entertainment through April every Tuesday after our show. Troubadour Tuesdays rolls on. There's live entertainment every Tuesday after the show. So between the Brewer shuttles and bands here 4 or 5 nights a week, there's a lot going on here at Paulie's Pub and Eatery. They do shuttles to all the Milwaukee Brewers home games as well. It's time to celebrate Brad Miller and his Icon Electric Carts and e-bikes. BMRE electric carts and e-bikes are in Random Lake. There's the only Icon electric bicycles that go 25 miles per hour on as speed, 25 miles on a charge. They're in stock. Inventories there. Wisconsin's Icon electric golf cart dealer is BMRE Electric Carts. Find them on Facebook. Thanks to Brad Miller and his support of our show. It's time for the Anderson's Maple Syrup Spotlight. Tonight we have a young driver who's raced carts a bunch locally with Badger Kart Club across the nation and now is making the next step in a very adventurous way. Anderson's Maple Syrup is great for you to take on the go. Take it with you with Pure Fuel Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. AndersonMapleSyrup.com is the website. Proud Wisconsin company supporting our show for a number of years. This week's spotlight goes to this young lady between myself and her dad, Mike. Let's welcome in Ava Dobson to the show. Ava, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Mike, thanks for being here.
Having us. No, we appreciate it. It's always an honor to be on with you, Jim.
Mike's been a friend of ours for a long time. Badger Kart Club certainly part of our show. And Mike, with all of that said, you were racing carts Your daughter got racing karts. Then you got racing karts again.
Right. Yeah, we kind of got started. Actually, we were out at the indoor track at one point and was introduced to the Julian family. Spent a little bit of time as far as getting acclimated to.
So Brian and Logan are
Brian
here.
and Logan.
They're actually scouting for next
Dylan.
week. I didn't know they're here supporting you guys too. That's awesome. Yeah.
But we spent a little time with them, and they connected us with Jamie Siraki at Franklin Motorsports, and invested in Ava's first kart and started racing at Badger Kart Club, which we focused on the first year. And after that, Racing Bug was pretty much fully indoctrinated, and then got involved with World Karting Association, USPKS, SCUSA, and then she started traveling and doing a lot of the national races at that point.
Big time national races, Ava. How much has that prepared you for what you're biting off now in the Formula 4 series? We're talking about real race cars on big famous racetracks. How is that traveling nationally with karts and the level you were at prepared you for this next step?
It's prepared me for everything that I got that I'm doing now, with the racecraft, how you race against other people. It's a lot, and pace wise, and just understanding how other people race against you.
You're a Jay Howard driver development driver, and Jay Howard has raced the Indy 500. He's worked with a lot of different teams. Indy Lights, he was kicking tail there for a lot of years. How do you get connected with him and his teams racing the series?
So my friend Frankie Mossman, his dad knew, they race with Jay, and they've been with him for a while, and it was just one random night they called us and told us that Jay wanted us, and it was a really big opportunity that kind of came out of nowhere.
It's kind of really cool. We'll get into what you're doing now, but I want to follow that path. Mike, your daughter Ava's only 14 now.
Right.
How did this come about, and was this something you would consider already without Jay Howard giving you the ring and saying, hey, let's do this?
Actually, the original path we were considering is probably doing some Spec Miata maybe later this year, and then ultimately graduating to a Trans Am TA2 series, TA series. But as Ava mentioned, our family friends Mossman's, Brian Mossman had contacted me on a phone call. It was 2 days before Christmas, and basically said, hey, you got time for a phone call? And it's well, you're already on the phone. So he goes, nope, I'll call you back in 10 minutes, which he did with Jay Howard on the phone. And they had an opportunity with a sponsor that they already had on board, and presented Ava with the opportunity. So at that point, she didn't actually know it at the time, so it was a little bit of rethinking on that path. And when I asked her about it, it took her about 2 seconds to say yes. So,
if I stay in karting another year, I've got long practice days, because you guys traveled out of state just to practice.
Right. Yeah. So we, once historically we had been with Franklin Motorsports up until last year, and then we had switched to a team. Primarily, individuals were based out of England, but their presence in the U.S. was in Miami. So we were traveling 2 weekends a month down to Homestead for practice weekends.
They have a road course there that has a lot of racing on it. And now, Ava, you get a chance to do a lot of different things at racetracks you may or may not have been racing on. What have you been on so far with your Formula 4 car?
I've been at Sebring, Homestead, Road America, NOLA. That's it.
This past weekend, you're at Road America.
Yeah.
You got a full session, and how'd that go in a full-size car at your home track?
I only got one session in because my engine just blew up, but whatever.
But that anticipation had to be pretty much I gotta be there. I'm gonna get in the car. I'm on pit road. It's Road America.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun. I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to be on the big track.
And will you go back coming May 19, 2021? That's the vintage weekend at Road America. They're adding Formula 4 to that schedule.
Yeah.
So you get more laps then.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of in preparation for all that. So I do know this. You're age 14 until June. You're actually able to race only when you turn 15, right?
Yes.
So what is the development plan now with you and Jay Howard and these test days and getting track time at the race on race weekends?
Well, We just go to the test weekends that he gives to us, and we'll go for like 2 days.
Right. So on a typical race weekend, so as an example, when we were at NOLA, the events are usually scheduled from Thursday through Sunday.
Okay.
So Sunday is considered test day. So you've got all the development drivers and all the F4 drivers are all commingled in the group and basically go through that whole day. On Friday, they'll pair off the development drivers, and development drivers are maybe kids who choose not to maybe participate
Just
right
need more
in the
seat time.
F4.
Yeah.
They're right. They just
Yeah.
want to get a little bit more experience, or they're not of age.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they'll carve them off on Fridays, and then their races are independent of each other. But the kids that are in that development group are able to participate in all the other activities. They have autograph sessions. They on all the drivers' meetings and all that, so they're active as though they were part of the group, just to get them acclimated and ready for when they move in.
And David, where have you found yourself migrating to or learning from when you're not in the race car? Because you are not in the car Saturday, or if you are, it's for a practice session. Do you get to hang out with your team, get to debrief with the drivers, get to go in the corner to watch what they're doing? I mean, how are you absorbing all of these opportunities?
Yeah, on their like race weekend when I'm doing like the practice, we do like video and data and just go over with like the mechanics and with Jay, and he's just telling us what to do better and what to fix.
So you get to turn 15 in June. I imagine you're counting down the days. We have big Interstate Batteries calendars you can take along and put a big Sharpie through X through every day. So you turn 15, because what does that mean when you turn 15?
I get to race with like everybody.
And what will be your first race in June?
Mid-Ohio.
All right. I like that place. Have you been there before?
No.
It's really cool. So the Formula 4 car is a full-on race car. We've got hero cards here. You've got a great website, Ava Dobson Racing. The car itself has a lot of grip, has a lot of speed, and it looks like you're ready to go IndyCar racing next week by driving one of these.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting to know you've got this chance to do this. When you get to race against the other drivers, how many other Jay Howard drivers will you be racing against, and how many other drivers who were like there for 3, 4, 5 years that we'll be looking for next time we go to an IndyCar race?
I think there's 8.
Okay.
There's 8.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
8 Jay Howard drivers, and then like the field that they had at NOLA, I believe it was 31 deep.
Whoa.
For the F4 group. So
Yeah.
there's a lot participating. It's a competitive class. There's a lot of talented drivers. Majority of them are probably in that 16 to 20. I mean, there's a few that are on the cusp of that being at 15, but no, it's fun racing to watch.
It's a great place to be. If you watched the Long Beach Grand Prix this past weekend, you know that Kyle Kirkwood won for Andretti Autosport. Kyle was in that series. Was he also racing for Jay Howard when he did it?
Yep.
What other drivers have you known about that have raced in Formula 4 or raced with Jay Howard to get where they can maybe race and win the Indy 500 someday? Your name will be on that list eventually.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Well, yeah, you got Kyle Kirkwood, and then you got Carlos
Munoz.
Yeah.
David Malukas.
Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer Pidgeot.
Wow.
So, and then there's a multitude of races that are.
That's just Jay Howard's guys.
Right,
Yeah.
just Jay Howard guys that are basically kind of between Formula 4 and Indy. So, that was part of the decision that made it easy. I mean, you basically have a guy and his entire staff have significant IndyCar experience, and they obviously have a history of developing drivers to get to those next levels. And really focus on developing the driver, not just chasing plastic and results. So, no, it's been a great experience so far, and anticipate it will be going forward.
And there's a lot to what you have going on. The opportunity came about because of One Cure and all they're doing. Tell us about that main supporter that you're getting all this awareness to on social media platforms and when you're at the racetrack. What's One Cure?
Well, it's an animal cancer research center, and they develop cures and treatments for mostly dogs, but any sort of pets. And since dogs are 85%?
Mm-hmm. 85% of the genetic makeup of human.
Yeah, then that research can also play into like human research for cancer, and it's just like it's a big deal.
So that's kind of the connection, the one cure, pet and human.
Gotcha.
Hopefully that, whichever way the treatment and some of the testing goes, that it would translate vice versa.
And they're primarily in Colorado, right?
Yes.
So have you been to their campus yet? Have you done anything with them other than say, I want to be your gal, I want to be out there charging the cause and making people aware of this as I race around the country?
Not yet, but soon.
Jay's working on scheduling a few dates out to go out to Colorado State,
Good.
the Animal Cancer Center, so we're looking forward to that. And, they've got a history of motorsports racing. Tony Stewart's had some involvement with them in the past. David Letterman has been involved with them in the past, so it's an exciting opportunity.
And
Great
if you go to the
supporter.
racetrack and watch her on May 19, 2021, I understand you got some things to give out to people who may have their dog walking by in Road America. What's going on with that?
Yes, we have. Are they the foldable? Yeah, they're like foldable dog bowls.
Got to have that at the racetrack for the camper.
Yeah.
They'll all have the Colorado State logo on it, as well as the Ava Dobson 21 JHDD development car, so
cool.
That'll be fun.
That's kind of a neat thing to get to do that and meet people
Yeah.
and meet their dogs and cats and all sorts of animals that you see at the racetrack.
Yes.
Who else do you have supporting your stuff this year, Ava?
Well, we got WebM with Ryan
No.
DiStefano has gotten some of the supplies and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, the crew guys that have used that stuff, I mean, they're all on board. They love it. I mean, the hand wipes. I mean, if you haven't tried those, they're
Well, bam, we got
definitely
a jar right. We got a can right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wisconsin company.
We definitely use plenty of that.
Cool.
Some of the other ones.
Millennium Technologies, Pegasus Racing Supplies. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah. Millennium Technologies, they're the manufacturer of advanced engine parts. They do a lot of custom work, motorcycle, UTVs, things of that nature. So it's just a relationship we've had for a while. I've known Chris Hackle, one of the owners, for
And
several years.
I was glad that he shared the fact that Dave was coming on the show. I popped on his site. There's over 10,000 followers on Facebook of all the high perf stuff they get to do. I mean,
Right.
they do a lot of development to make things that you like to play with go faster.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And some of it's a lot of fun. Pegasus Auto Racing Supplies, I mean, they're always a great group. Jay and the gang over there are always really supportive. It was funny when we did her first test session back in January, which would have been at NOLA. The whole crew stayed probably 2 hours after the store was closing in the process of making sure we had all the fireproof equipment and everything ready to go. So that was fun.
Cool. We'll let her rip at Road America, May 19, 2021. She'll be in the paddock hanging out, racing with Jay Howard's team. And then come June, where can we watch you race? Is it on online? Can we watch you live stream?
Yes.
Where?
Is it on the F4? It's on like the.
Yeah,
it's
so-
on YouTube.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it'll be on YouTube.
All right.
So there are some links into the F4. It's also basically they align it sometimes with Speed Tour, but if you go to the F4 Championship website, they'll give you necessary links to whatever the race event and whenever the live feeds when they come on.
And you dialed me in pretty quick on Ava Dobson Racing on Facebook as well, so I'm glad you're posting stuff there for everybody to see and follow and share. It's been a fun process to get to know you tonight. We're going to follow you all year long. How about I say it for Ava Dobson and her dad Mike for joining us here tonight on the show. Thanks,
Great.
guys.
Thanks for having us, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very
Really
much.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. We're going circle track racing next. We've got a guy who's celebrating a birthday tonight. Tom Behrens is hanging out with us with some friends and family, and we're going to talk to Riley Stenjum, Kawicki driver, development driver, on this here program. Stick around.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Hey, we're back on the Racing Roundup Show, having a fun time tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We're back here next Tuesday night, a great show. Look at our stuff on Facebook, on social. Our website will also have the updated schedule of who's all coming on next week on RacingRoundupShow.com. Right now, we'd like to remind you to turn your recyclable metals into cash today, tomorrow. They're open all the time at 3 locations for Allied Resource Recovery. First location, 80th and Burnham in West Dallas. Waukesha, 1001 West Tesh Court. 1001 Tesh Court, in Waukesha. And you can cash in at National Salvage on 44th Street, across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. Their website, AlliedResourceRecovery.com. A big start to the 76th season at Slinger Superspeedway is this Sunday afternoon. Let's welcome in a driver who's going to race for the Pro Late Model Championship, the birthday boy, Tom Behrens. How are you, Tom? Put that thing on there. There we go. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's your birthday, so when you said, yes, Greg Lapine, I'll be on the show, I mean, I remember my own birthday, but I'm glad you're celebrating tonight with us. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we normally go out and eat places, so for my birthday, and I'm like, what a perfect night to come down to Polly's and have some dinner and celebrate with race fans.
Amen. Amen to that. What are you chomping at the bit most to try come this Sunday or this Saturday if they get a practice day?
Changing the front end up a little bit in our car, and since we got this new car, we really haven't been able to practice. I guess it's been so busy doing other stuff. And
how new is the car? When did you guys get it? Is it brand new?
It was brand new last year.
Okay.
And is basically, we put it together and just started racing, and we never really rented a track anywhere, and we basically just tried stuff in our 2 practices that we get on a Sunday.
Okay. So that car has been a full season now. Did you rip it apart and start over, or do you kind of just look at certain areas you mentioned the front end this year is kind of the off-season focus?
Yeah, it basically, last year the car was all brand new minus the drivetrain. The motor and the tranny were from the previous car. So this winter, both of those got an overhaul. So the motor should be pretty decent. It had 2.5 seasons on it, so.
Okay.
And now we're able to try stuff with the front end that we wanted to last year, but it is one of those things where it just didn't have the time to practice it and try it.
Gotcha. Well, the points chase starts this Sunday. If it happens to be weather out, their next race is the next Sunday after that, April 30th. So the season's here. Everything's going to be rolling. Just thought I'd like to remind your audience that Miracle on the High Banks 2 is this coming Sunday at Slinger Speedway. It involves the Midwest Tour Elite 8 Super Late models, the Uptown Motor Cars Pro Late models, which you're racing, Tom, the Finish Line Bar and Grill Slinger Bees, American Super Cups, Finish Line Bar and Grill Modifieds as well. You're a track champion there. You haven't yet to win a late model championship, but I'm thinking that you're like, okay, I've got the tools. I've got everything cooking here. What kind of crew do you need to race at Slinger Speedway for a pro late model championship?
My family.
Yeah?
I mean, we got me, my dad, my wife, and my daughter, and it's all about family.
And how many nights a week are you guys together? Or is this something you work on maybe as you can and then they help you when they can? How does that all work?
It's mainly just pretty much me and my dad in the garage, and and then the wife does all my social media. And
good. I'm keeping up on that. That's cool.
And my daughter does my tires and stuff like that. So it's basically us four. I have another buddy, Art Hahn, who helps out when he's not vacationing in Florida.
You got that, Art? He might need you this Sunday and next Sunday. Don't go to Florida again. Is he still in Florida now?
Oh, yeah. He's not coming back for a while.
Okay. All right. Well, when he comes back, there'll be a big boost then, right? You can actually maybe take a 5-minute nap or something?
Yep.
Between working and working on the race car?
Get him back to work.
Tom, who's helping you this year as sponsors go?
I can't thank my sponsors enough. I'd say 90% of my sponsors have been on my cars for the last 10-plus years.
Wow.
So
good for you.
Weld Fab Manufacturing, they've been on my hood forever. Motor Masters, Coons Auto Group, Becker McLeod Company, L Pig's Butt Barbecue, Kraus Window Tinting and Shades, Little Red Inn, Yummy Bones Barbecue and Catering, PMT, Classy Secret Salons, D&W Seamless Gutters, Kanicki's, JR Photography, Reed Racing Enterprises, Bailings, TD Graphics, and Wayne's Chop Shop.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, 90% of them have been with me since I started racing, and they believe in me, I guess.
Well, it's glad to know you got that kind of support. When it comes to racing, is it primarily one car for you guys you focus on? Do you have spare equipment now that you're in Pro Late Models for another year? Do you have a lot of stockpile of that because you were so good in the other divisions and learning that crap before you kind of moved up as you went?
Yeah, we're still sticking to one car.
Okay.
I feel that it more than one car just gets me too confused. I can focus on one car and one car only. So I pretty much build my own bumpers and, stubs and everything,
wow.
At Reed's, and they help me out a ton. So it's nice having them right in Hartford down the road from me. And, I don't think I'd be where I'm at right now competitive-wise without the Reeds.
The Reed Chassis Company is certainly somebody that's been gaining awareness and notoriety, but you've been working with those guys for how long already?
Since I started, for probably the last 4 years now.
Okay.
Between Dave Sr. and Dave Jr. and then Travis and Steve Apel, they've all sort of been, in my car and giving me pointers and stuff. So
that's really cool. You got all that going on. Who'd you bring with you tonight to the show on your birthday?
On my birthday, it's the family. I got my wife Tina, my daughter Madison, and my dad Jeff.
That's cool. And I imagine you guys already ate dinner, right? I think they have a good dessert menu here. I'm not sure. You can hang out for that if you want it.
Yeah, I don't know. That classic burger filled me up. I'm pretty full.
Hey, how would I say it for Tom Behrens for joining us here tonight? Tom, thanks for coming down. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you sign our Bob Trado sign right our backdrop as well. Great to have you here. Best of luck this Sunday and every Sunday at Slinger Super Speedway. We have tickets to give away to watch Tom this coming Sunday after our show. Come on down. You still got a few minutes to join us, or if you want to join us next Tuesday, we're back here at Paulie's Pub and Eatery. We're coming right back on this show with a Quickie Driver Development Program finalist. He's one of the Fast 7 chosen out of the nation's best super late models racers. He's from right here in Utica, Wisconsin. Joining us next is Riley Stenjum. Stick around.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's in Las Vegas and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows, too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our show. Thanks again for being part of it this evening. And next Tuesday, we got a great lineup for you again. Dirt Modified racer Jason Schilling. We also have the owner and driver of the Lynch Racing Midwest Truck Series truck, Scott Lynch, and driver Scott Asher. We're coming back to the show. Dirt Grand National driver Jim Wirtz, who's got something pretty cool to show us, and we get to keep, so you get to see our show next week to find out more about that. We also have, he's already here tonight checking things out, Tomahawk Speedway Micro Sprint champion multiple times. He's now a rookie in the 360 Sprint cars. We'll have Logan Julian on our program next week, Tuesday here at Pauley's. And we're also going to have the latest from Slinger Super Speedway's opener and the Milwaukee Mile NASCAR ARCA race. They got a big announcement early next week. We'll find out that I think the entitlement sponsor is going to be announced next week for the NASCAR truck race coming to the mile on August 27th. So that's going to be part of our show. Please like our show on Facebook and on our website, racingroundupshow.com, as we're going to watch any show, including some really cool shows we had to start our 39th season. It happened to be at Alan Quickie's celebration weekend. We started out Friday evening at UW Milwaukee in the College of Engineering Quickie Garage. Saturday, we went to Alan Quickie Park as we looked back on April 1st, 1993, with a number of guests. We were fortunate to have on our next guest then, not knowing he'd be a finalist for the Alan Quickie Driver Development Program run by Tom Roberts and others. But right now, we're first time welcoming back one of the 7 back in the Quickie fold, racing for the Quickie Cup. Let's welcome in Riley Stenjum. Riley, thanks for coming back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's awesome to be here.
We were in the middle of those interviews and everything you had to go through to get the finalists and get a chance to return to be a Quickie Driver Development driver. I imagine there's a bit of relief, but now the work really starts, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you said, it was a little bit of a relief. I didn't really know if we were going to get back in, but it's awesome to be a member of that final 7, and you're right, the work really does start now. And it's a lot of commitment to be a part of that program, but it pays off. It really helps us out, us young drivers out, and it's awesome to be a part of.
So you're going to school here in Milwaukee at Milwaukee School of Engineering, going for mechanical engineering, and your race shop is back home near Madison, kinda.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in your life heading into the first race weekend, much less getting towards the end of the semester here.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually down here this morning for class, drove home, got the hauler, and brought it back down here. So, yeah, it's always busy. Working on the race cars. We just got our motor back tonight for our super late for this weekend at Slinger. So, full steam ahead, getting ready for the weekend, and looking forward to it.
You run the 77 in your car when you won the Tundra Championship last year, and now you got a whole new scheme on the car sitting out front here at Pauley's. We know the motivation. Tell us about the idea and the decision to go with what you did.
Yeah, so we actually built this car last year. We bought it from Carson Quapple, and we were going to make it a limited late, which is what it kind of is. We can run it as a super late if we want. But, yeah, we bought it from Carson Quapple, and Yeah, I really liked that scheme that Alan had when he ran back in the day, and the Hardy scheme, and we kind of tied it into it even with some of our fonts on the sponsor logos on there. And yeah, it's pretty cool, a good representation of the program of the year last year, and our motor blew up. We were going to take it to Oktoberfest. So yeah, I'm excited to get it out this year, and it's awesome that I'll be able to still be in the program and represent that paint scheme this year.
So we get to see the sneak peek here at Paulie's. Where do you think you'll be racing that car first?
We're hoping to at Jefferson. We're not 100% sure with our motor situation with that car yet, but for sure throughout the year we're going to be racing it. I think we're going to try to hit a lot of double feature events with it, Madison International Speedway and La Crosse Speedway for a lot of their double feature events, because they count as 2 feature events in the Kawicki program, so it's great for us up here. Who knows what the weather is up here to get more races in on one night when we can. So we're going to try to do that, and then we're going to follow the majority of the Midwest Tour schedule with our super late.
For those who don't know, the Kawicki Driver Development Program has been on since 2015 when Ty Majeski became the first Kawicki Cup champion. Alex Prunty's also won it. Luke Fenhaus won it in 2021. You're returning to try to win this in 2023. There are 7 drivers from across the country that represent this program. How do you earn points to become the Kawicki Cup champion?
Yeah, there's really a couple phases of the program. It's not solely on the track. It is a portion of it. They take your best 15 finishes throughout the year. You're awarded points based off of wins, top 5s, top 10s. And there's also an off-the-track component in terms of community engagement, as well as representing Alan's legacy with like a scheme like that, or certain things to promote Alan and keep his legacy alive. Like, we're able to do that from all across the country with the program. It's so represented, and that's a big part of the program, is they want to promote that legacy and get us drivers involved in our community and just really use our racing platform to do something better than just racing.
And what have you elected to do specifically this season as part of your application and commitment to helping in your community this year?
Yeah, so we did a few things last year. A lot of stuff with young Bandolero drivers, so we're going to bring that back. We're going to do a Future Legends program, which kind of emulates the Kawicki program a little bit, where Bandolero drivers run and compete for Arrive and Drive in a Legend car. And they take their best 15 finishes. It's not just 7 drivers. We allow anybody in it, and they accumulate points throughout the year. And then we also did a Bandolero camp last year, which is kind of like, I don't know if high school around here do it, but when I was in high school, like the high school kids would do a basketball camp for the little kids.
Yep.
So we're kind of doing that with racing. We had a couple guys my age we did that at Jefferson last year. We had 26 kids the first year do it.
Whoa.
So we're hoping to do one in the spring or early part of the summer this year, and then one again in the fall, and bring that back to kind of just help those drivers that necessary. And then in terms of my community as well, I'm bringing back a Laps for Kids pledge, where people can pledge money for every lap I run on the track. That's going to raise money for the Greatest Needs Fund at the American Family Children's Hospital in Madison, Wisconsin.
Cool.
And then, we did a drive-out breast cancer fundraiser last year at the end of the year alongside Steve Apel at the Dells. And we're going to try to do more fundraisers like that for different months of awareness throughout the year. So, keep an eye out for that. We're not 100% sure which months we're going to do it, but we're going to do months throughout the year for that as well. And then also, I'd like to get out to schools this year and take my race car to schools and talk about kind of, with my engineering background, how STEM and things like that can apply to cool things like racing.
Science, technology, engineering, and math. That's what you want to do as a profession, but now it's a calling. It's a cause for you. I mean, you got a race to run. You got to do your best on the racetrack. That sounds like a lot of time and effort toward really kind of doing cool things and being and staying motivated to perform on the track and off. And I'm guessing you're getting a bunch of fans along the way too, because man, you got a lot of things cooking where these kids are coming to the track. They want to watch Riley Stenjum race. They're going to watch you on MidwestTour.tv this coming Sunday if they can't make the race at Slinger. That's kind of cool. You're making all that work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's an awesome privilege to be a race car driver and to be able to do all this. And like I said, I just want to trade it for the world.
So when it comes to racing a super late model, it takes a ton of time. You mentioned the Kawicki 28 Hardee's look-alike car is going to be a pro late model primarily. Where can we find your schedule where you're racing this year, Riley?
So we don't have it out yet. We're going to follow, like I said, the majority of the Midwest Tour with our super late. We're not sure on Madison yet. We're going to see 4-barrel that the ASA Stars National Tour will go. So if Slinger goes good, you may see us at Madison and then see how that goes and kind of see where we're in the points through the middle of the year and see to figure out something for Kakana. But for sure, all the non-Stars National Tour races. And then, we're going to run, like I said, we'll hit up Jefferson some with our late model. We're just whatever Saturday nights are open. Try to run the majority of the Madison schedule. It's 6 nights over there this year, all double feature nights. And then La Crosse Fairground Speedway some. And then also some select super late model events, like primarily the Alan Kawicki Memorial at Slinger. We want to get back out there this year. I think it got rained out 3 times last year, so looking forward to getting back out there as well.
There's a lot going on. And you got how many people helping? How many race cars?
So we got 2 race cars. Primarily, it's myself and my dad in the shop. I've got my buddy Cade. He comes to the shop some. He's down here tonight. My mom, she's kind of coordinating everything. And then at the track, we've got quite a few people that come. My tire guy, Randy Tigan, longtime tire guy, he's down here tonight. He comes to the racetrack with us. Like I said, my dad. I've got a couple buddies from school that come. And, it's a full team effort, but it's really fun.
I've known Randy for a long time, and he actually took me aside last week. He came to the show with his buddy John Wood and your buddy Bryce Miller, who also helps you with the Bando schools. And he said, I just like Riley so much. I wanted to cut back, but I just can't. I just like working with these guys. You guys have it going on. It's got to be neat surrounding yourself with people like Randy.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, racing in Wisconsin, it's so much about family ties and things like that. There's so many deep families like the Sodders and Holzhausens and people like that. So to have somebody like Randy who's been around racing a long time be able to kind of guide us a little bit, it's pretty cool. And, it's like Wisconsin, it's so tough up here. You got to have all the aces that you can in your pocket.
Talking to Riley Stengen, one of the 7 KDP drivers. You're surrounded by Alan Quickie. You're trying to promote his legacy, but we can't help but continue to surround you with it. We've got this a shop sign. I've had it on the desk since I got it from a friend of mine. That was the shop sign you can see at Alan Quickie Park above the doors you walk in. My friend Mark Goodman was actually coordinated that Alan Quickie Park show we did on April 1st. He actually purchased the door that Alan drove at Slinger and other tracks in 1980, the yellow 97 LPX. I mean, that's kind of what we dig on, and I imagine you're probably going to have to be like the shepherd of anything Kowicki, where people are like, I got a story, and you got to be there to go, what is it, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be fun.